Hey, Richard, this has been so much fun. We have our episode out now on acid and wine. So Everyday Sommelier, just go listen on your favorite podcast platform to the whole episode. But what we're going to do today is we're actually going to get into some real world wines and some real world food pairings to show you, our listener, what really happens inside the mouth when you pick the right wine or the wrong wine based upon the factor of acidity. So tell me what we're going to be doing today, and let's experiment.
Yeah, this is a little, let's call it a home kit you can do. And this is a lot of fun to do. So, and you can Google other ideas, but I've done this class a couple of times as well. And it's the most fun class, I think, one for me and two for the guest, because everybody's palate is different and everybody's palate reacts differently. But this is kind of some basic stuff. So first we started with our lemons. This is just your high acid. Then let's get some salt with some fat. So I got some salted peanuts in here. Then I just got good old Hawaiian red sea salt, but you can use iodized salt too if you don't have to use any fancy fancy salt. I am bringing in sweet into here. So this is just some chocolate morsels.
Is it dark chocolate?
Yeah, about 60% cacao.
Okay.
Then I got some sweet with fat too, which is just some, these are candy pecans, but you can do anything kind of candy, stuff like that. And then another one is pure tannins. So I like to show a very good tannic example, which is walnuts. They have a lot of tannins. And the one thing I realized I left off of here was I like to do cheese, some kind of cheeses. So, pick a blue cheese and then pick maybe like a hard Parmesan, then maybe like a cheddar.
Yeah.
Those are three kind of styles of cheese, if you will. And then sometimes I like to pick a couple of greens too. So like if you like arugula, or if you like a romaine, if you're making stuff at home, lettuces, pick what lettuces you like to eat. Because obviously arugula is a lot different than romaine. Okay. So do your little taste test, and then, and get a couple of people to do this. You can do it by yourself. It's a lot of fun, but this is a fun little 6 to 10 person party idea too.
Yeah.
So, we have a few wines here. I'll walk through the wines that we have here. So, of varietals. So I like to have a sparkling wine of some sort. And I like to have a lower sugar, higher acidic, Tartmore style sparkling wine.
Okay.
Then we have a Riesling that is an off dry, has a hint of sugar sweetness to it, but it's pretty dry on that side.
But still bright acidity.
Then we have a Sauv Blanc. The Sauv Blanc today we're doing is out of Australia. But I know right now, like Sancerres are very popular. So again, drink what you're going to bring to the table what you're going to be drinking at home, right?
Okay.
Then the Chardonnay we have a classic California Chardonnay at Russian River. So we move a lot of that kind of wine here at the restaurant. But if that is not your style and you like more of the leaner style, then do like you're saying, like do a Chablis, things like that. Okay. On the red style, the red wines, I like to do, obviously, Cab is king here in Texas, but you will see the Cab goes with some things, and it goes with it doesn't go with a lot of things also. So, and then we got a Tempranillo, which we talked about earlier, is grown well here in Texas already. And Tempranillo is a very forgiving varietal. And so it goes with a lot of wines, a lot of foods. And then I got a Pinot Noir, which is so Tempranillo is right in the middle of this acidity. Then we got Pinot Noir. And then the Pinot Noir we have today is out of California. So the acid's a little bit lower than you might find out of Burgundy. And we have a little bit more fruit, because I think a lot of the foods we eat here in Texas have a little bit bolder in style. So that's one a little bit bolder in the Pinot.
You got it. Okay. Well, where are we starting with our tasting plate, if you want to call it that? Yeah. And what wine should we try with it?
Okay. So why don't you have Sauv Blanc in front of you?
I have Sauv Blanc, yes.
And then I'll do Chardonnay. We'll do opposite. Okay. Cheers. All right.
Okay.
So let's just go through this real quick, and we don't need to do every varietal.
Exactly.
So
you pick the best ones.
So we're gonna do bad and worst. Okay. So or good and bad, I guess.
In the morning.
Well, we all that's never an issue here. All right, so let's start with the acid first. Okay. So you take your own lemon right here. Once you get
Yummy. Nothing like a good fresh lemon.
Okay. I don't suggest squeezing lemon right in your mouth off the bat. So this is my first sip of wine today.
Same here.
So. Let's go against we need to do that.
We need to do the sparkling.
Here. You do the sparkling.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right. So do a little sparkling. I'm gonna do a little Riesling right here. It's kind of. I love Riesling.
I do too. It's my favorite.
Okay.
Next to sparkling.
Okay, so let's go back to what you said earlier. Right now, my mouth is like, great. Thank you for getting some wine in. totally salivating right now.
I'm
flushing. But now my mouth feels totally clean.
Yep.
It's cleansed. It's great. So now we're ready. So
it's the new toothpaste.
wow, new item. Wine toothpaste. What's really done with that? Okay. So now let's do the wine first. So put the wine in your mouth, push it around like mouthwash for about 3-4 seconds, and then you're going to take a little dollop, this in your mouth.
Okay. I have to say, if I would have just done this lemon by itself, I would be almost crying.
Yep.
This acidity in the wine made this just taste more like lemonade.
I want to try yours.
Yeah, please do. More like lemonade.
We're friends, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Than it did that really bitter and acidic.
Did you do the sparkling or
I
something?
did. Sparkling.
Great.
I know. I mean, who would have known? Because literally it took all of that true lemon. If you bite a lemon without any preparation, this makes it like lemonade.
Yes. So
acid and acid.
That was it worked out great. And it made that wine. So what it did on that wine, obviously this sparkling does have it's Prosecco. It does have a little bit of I think about 7% dosage.
Okay.
So, but I don't think you get that at all once you have that with the lime. It brings that to a super fresh, really bright wine with that lemon. But by itself, it profiles differently.
So exactly what we were talking about, or we're talking about in the episode, go listen, is acid plus acid neutralizes acid, and it complements each other and brings them down instead of making them zingier.
Yep.
In true technical terms.
Right. And so another way I like to look at that too is waves. So you have food has waves, and so does wine. So when you take a bite, now we're this is a mono wave. This is
there's nothing nothing nuanced and complex.
If we put all this plate together, that'd be waves of flavors, right? And so like a dish, just pick. You talk about making risotto the other night, so you had waves of flavor coming in that from your shrimp to your lemon to your risotto. To your stock, you probably put in there to what herbs you put in there, right?
And cheese.
So that's waves coming in through. So whatever wine, we're not going to have a wine that's going to have only one profile either. It's going to have different profiles. So so we want the waves like an ocean to kind of work together.
Love that.
Not combat on that.
Wow.
So okay.
Now,
let's try the Chardonnay.
Okay.
Mine was not good. So
do I need to?
Yeah. So
give me the Chard.
Yeah. Here's a Chard. So try that, and I'll let you describe it. Mine did not work for me.
Oh.
Yeah.
That brings it right back to just biting a bitter lemon.
Yep. So it makes it super acidic. In this, you get nothing. You have the wine goes away.
Let me just taste it to see what it is on the back end. Ugh.
Yeah.
That tastes like a 3-day-old $5 bottle of wine that's been sitting on top of your refrigerator.
That's a good point. So I tell people all the time, because a lot of people when they go out to dinner, especially for special occasions, they will order sometimes a little bit nicer wine than normally would, or maybe bring a wine home than normally would. Do that wine justice. We just realized this could.
We just ruined it.
This could be a really nice Chardonnay from somewhere.
Yeah.
And we were making a really nice salad or some dish that we spent a lot of time for.
Yeah.
And we have love in that, and we have love in this wine. Well, we just ruined both
of them. Yeah. You just that. Okay.
So now let's take this. So
where are we going next?
You pick what you got, Sauvignon Blanc or your sparkling. So let's go salt.
Okay, let's go Sauvignon Blanc and salt. Well, I know sparkling and salt.
Yep.
It is one of the most magical pairings. Yeah. Give me potato chips, give me French fries, give me something salty, and a glass of sparkling, and I am in hog heaven.
You are speaking my language. So so the best favorite my pairing is potato chips and champagne, and also fried chicken and champagne.
And I know everybody loves fried chicken and champagne. I personally don't eat meat, but give me some fried fish.
Yes, or fried fish. Yes, yeah.
Give me fish and chips and a sparkling wine.
But we're in Texas, so we eat fried chicken here. Over the South too, so we eat fried chicken. By the way, so
I'm unusual. I'm special. Okay.
So just dip my finger in it, get a little salt on that. So I'm going to stick with my Chardonnay on mine. Okay, I'm going to see how mine does.
Okay, I'm doing the Sauvignon Blanc. wow, that salt, it brings out the fruitiness, and it really enhances the fruitiness, but it also took the acidity down a little bit.
Same with mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, same with mine. So, yeah. Sorry, I think I had the picture on my shirt now. So, yeah, same with mine. But that's okay, right? Because sometimes, as long as it's not taking the acid down too much in the dish, but that goes back to that Asian profile. They'll have spice and a lot of acid, and it'll calm it down.
It was not flat. I shouldn't have said it was not flat. It just didn't. That wasn't the first thing that hit my mouth.
Ooh, that's really good.
I know, that's really good together.
I like the salt better with the Sauv Blanc
than I do
the Chardonnay.
I am totally with you.
Okay, so let's walk through that. Why do we think the salt is working better with the Sauv Blanc or the Chardonnay?
The saltiness does have an ability to diminish acidity, not in a negative way, but just make it not such the prominent feature of a wine.
Yep.
And so because this Sauv Blanc started out so high acid, it's bringing it down into a really lovely balanced state with that food and wine pairing. However, the Chardonnay starting off a little lower, in my personal opinion, I think it took it just a little bit below where my acidity in wine preference is, because I really like acidity in wine, and it just made it seem a little dull to me. It didn't make it.
So we're not saying don't add salt to your dishes.
Right.
Okay. We're just saying don't do salty dishes made with Chardonnay. That's a very big, heavier, fatter style Chardonnay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or do a really high acidity, like a Chablis, or really cool climate, like a Finger Lakes, or a cool climate Oregon type of Chardonnay that's really got that high acid as the driver. Yeah.
And also, so everybody understands, acid doesn't have a flavor. It's a sensation that we have. So we're not tasting acid; we're feeling the acid. What we're tasting now, which the winemaker, when they make these wines higher, they said, "Hey, we want these wines to go with food, or go with our dishes from our villages, whatever you want to call it, right?" And so when we did that salt with that Sauv Blanc, I got all the great components of fruit.
Oh, me too.
In there, and also kind of what is in the ground. It's coming up in the ground. Tasting the minerality in there. So, but I didn't get the acid, because the acid kind of, like you said, it balanced out perfectly.
Well, and what'd be interesting is, so when I do tastings, a lot of times I'll make a component of just water with like malic, tartaric, or citric acids, and just add those in there. And then I'll give people a little dropper to just add a little bit of that mixture into their wine, if it's a lower acidity wine, just to see how acid really does change what you taste in the wine. And it's pretty darn fun. So anyway, but be very careful, because you can get too much of that acid in there.
So the other thing to remember is high acidic wines are screaming for food. Lower acidic wines, it doesn't need food sometimes as much.
Or 110-degree day by the pool in Texas.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, as long as we're clear. Okay, well, what's our next one?
Okay, so then we're just going to cook opposite. So let's grab some chunks of chocolate.
Okay.
And we're gonna see now. Obviously, you're not going to be. We're talking about savory dishes right now. So, but just think of a savory dish that has a sweet sauce, like a marsala, or a demi sauce that you put cherries with it, things like that. We're not talking about desserts, okay? Now, because I guess you could drink Sauv Blancs at dessert, but we're saying more main entree and appetizer dishes.
So let me ask you this. So there are a lot of tomato-based sauces and dishes that have sugar added to them. Is that kind of what we're talking about here as well?
Good point.
Like ketchup has sugar in it.
That's correct.
A lot of store-bought pasta sauces have sugar in them.
Yeah,
it's hidden. It's a hidden sugar.
Added sugar, yes.
It's a hidden sugar, but it's real.
I like to think about the non-added. So but that's a good point. But I'm saying if you're cooking from home, I like to cook with fresh tomato. I mean, yes,
of course. Yeah.
You're controlling the sugar. Let's put it that way.
When you're not adding
sugar. You're not adding sugar. That's like when you buy, chicken stock. You buy low sodium. You add in the other component in. So I like to. Let's say we're not buying stuff that has added sugar in it, even though something like Texas barbecue sauces have a lot of sugar.
That's a good point. Yeah,
in there. So we'll talk about that. So we'll go to some reds. Okay, so let's try this. So
let's just eat some.
Now I'm gonna go Riesling. Mine.
Oh, okay. What am I going?
Good sparkling. Good sparkling.
I always divert back to sparkling. Okay. That chocolate brought out where the sparkling wine was really just acid forward. This brought out this whole mid palate of fruitiness.
Me too. exactly the same thing. I got nothing in the front, but right in the mid, I got like a sweeter lemon.
Yeah.
On this one.
Yeah. I mean, which I did not get at all with the other.
It didn't
pairings.
kill the wine though for me. It's not the perfect pairing, but it didn't kill it.
I wouldn't mind doing this. I mean,
you try the Chardonnay now.
Okay.
I want to try.
What do you want to try?
Let me get your Sauv Blanc. Let me go really acidic.
Just the kids in a candy store here. Interesting. The chocolate brought out all the grassy, greeny notes.
And this one
wasn't my favorite.
This one wasn't my favorite either. This one, the Sauv Blanc, it dropped all acid. I'm sorry, it dropped all fruit. It made only acid on this. Really?
Yeah, I need to try that. This one, it took Chardonnay into a whole new element for me, like really, really herbaceous and things like that I wasn't expecting.
So you're pulling away from what the wine shouldn't be. We're pulling away on this one where the wine shouldn't be.
Yeah.
So that's what we're saying. So this sweet with these two, one was very acidic, on that side, and then when this was, not nearly as acidic, it's pulled away from the wines. But yeah, I think why these go together is why.
Let me try the Riesling, if you don't mind. I'm sorry. I didn't try that.
So I want you to try it. Let's talk about why do you think the Riesling and the sparkling might have gone a little bit better with the chocolate than the Chardonnay and the Sauv Blanc did.
Ooh, that's surprisingly good. Mm-hmm. To me, goes back to that acidity plus acidity neutralizes. I'm thinking that a little bit of the bitter notes that sparkling and Riesling both can have because of that high acidity. You think about and I don't mean vinegar in a bad way, but vinegar brings about it triggers your bitterness sensation in your mouth. I think it totally neutralized that, and I get a lot of fruit on both of those. Where I just think that these two, to me, it just brought out notes of kind of some of those grassy herby that overtook the fruit and made it just a little bit more one-noted in the wrong direction. Yep. But I like the Riesling. Riesling and dark chocolate I would never have put together.
I was shocked too. Okay. So again, this is why we're doing this. Like I said, I've been doing this for a long time and you always learn things. So I think also why the Riesling and the sparkling go better than the Sauv Blanc and the Chardonnay is because there's a little natural sugar in the Riesling already. So there's going to be a little bit more sweetness than the Chardonnay and the Sauv Blanc. And then the sparkling, there's a little added sugar, right? In the Sauvage. So I think those two spices, if you will, in the Riesling and the sparkling is pulling that other chocolate through the wine. Yeah. But I don't taste chocolate. That's another thing. When I did this, I didn't taste chocolate in the wine at all. So that's the thing to note is this is a strong chocolate.
It's very strong chocolate.
In my mouth, I taste, but when I this, that flavor of the cacao goes away, but that bitterness and tannin stays around, but works well with these wines. But the sweetness in the chocolate is what's coming through, not the flavor of the chocolate.
The sweetness. And then the other thing about it is, and it's not really a creamy chocolate, but all chocolate is slightly creamy. And to me, that little bit of creaminess and just that mouthfeel of the chocolate paired really well with those because it kind of balanced out some of that. Yeah. Where it triggered in my mouth, my taste buds.
So the only thing I would say to recommend if you do this at home is, like I said, add some cheeses and add some greens to it. Yeah. So, but you want to do reds next?
Sure. Let's do red next.
Let's do reds.
Okie doke. Okay, we are back at it, and we've switched gears. We just covered a plethora of 4 different white wines, one of them being a sparkling. Now we're moving on to red wines. Yep. So where are we going to start now?
So we know, I know we have listeners everywhere, but we're here in Texas. So right now we're going to hit 100 degrees probably today, give it close. And we will still drink a lot of Cabernet here in Texas, no matter the heat. Yeah. So, but I do, reds are, again, just like whites, cover the gamut of profiles. So a lot of fun reds people don't think about is Beaujolais that are really great. Beaujolais go really great with all our food here in Texas, like chicken fried steak and Beaujolais is an awesome pairing. That's a good pairing I should mention earlier, but chicken fried steak.
It does sound good.
And a Beaujolais. You know, another fun wine that you don't see a lot of people ordering or in retail stores is a sparkling Lambrusco.
Oh, I love my good Lambrusco.
Yeah, so,
I like it on the drier side.
Yeah,
Versus
this not the reunion stuff. This is not what our parents are drinking. This is serious Lambrusco, and serious Lambrusco also not that expensive, right? I mean, serious Lambrusco ranges anywhere from like maybe like $18 up to maybe $50, but really you don't spend more than $30 on a good Lambrusco, and it has a little bit of hint of sweet, but it's usually very dry.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's why,
it's a frizzante, not fully sparkling red, but it is like kind of in between. It's more like think of the bubbles in a Moscato, kind of like a mid palate frizzante, not super.
And it's the fun red to drink. It's just fun sparkling red
and chilled,
slightly chilled. I love it. And then, I mean, especially. We do a lot of meats in the United States, either charcuterie or just grilling or things like that. So Lambrusco is another good fun out of the box one.
I agree.
But here we got some basics. So we're going opposite. We're going Cab and Pinot. So so Pinot very high acidic to Cab kind of in the middle. I mean, lower, and then I got Tempranillo right in the middle. Acidity.
Now I will say if Cabernet is cool climate or is harvested too early and can have some of those green kind of bell pepper notes, it can be on the higher acidity side. That is, I mean, personally, that's just not necessarily my favorite type of Cab.
Well, that's right. So, so Cabs like that, from Chile,
Chile can definitely throw
out a lot more. I think mainly, especially United States, we drink a lot of California Cabernet.
Warmer climate.
Which is bigger, bolder style Cab, and then behind that is let's go to the French Bordelais style. So on the left bank, more Cab heavy. But you're getting two different profiles of Cabernet.
Very different.
So
just like we were talking about with Chardonnay, all Cab is not made the same.
Yep. So I would say for this sake, this is a domestic Cabernet.
Okay.
Out of California.
Okay.
Because that tends to be what's purchased the most.
Absolutely. It's everywhere
in the United States. But again, if you're like, well, I don't really know French wine. I can't pronounce it. I don't understand the labels. Okay, we'll get it. No problem. That's why you need podcasts like this to help you out. But two, also, find somebody you love at your local retail shop saying, hey, I love Cab. I drink a lot of this. Can I get something else? Maybe it's Cab or Cab-like that's out of the box.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right, where are we starting?
Let's go the same thing. Let's go the same route again. Let's take with this lemon.
Lemons and Cab?
Yep, we're gonna do it. Well, we're gonna do acid. We're gonna see what acid does. Okay.
I'm gonna have to edit out my faces here. Oh. All I get is bitter, tannin, bitter, tannin.
Yep. And
that lemon persistence does not go away.
Yep.
It was not my favorite pairing.
Yeah. So now, obviously, just to know, we're doing extreme examples of food.
You would never have lemon.
Yeah, you never do fresh lemon juice and Cab, right? But you're just trying to understand what acid, like a really acidic food does. Okay, so that worked out well. So our test worked out well, and that one should not have worked. I'm glad it didn't work. Because you're right. It was horrible, right? And so with that one, and again, I'm not going to say the lemon's going to work better with the Pinot. I mean, work well with the Pinot.
It's going to be less.
It's going to be a little bit better with the Pinot, right? And I did the Tempranillo. Mine was kind of. It made a Tempranillo very oaky, and it lost all the fruit.
Oh, so it pulled out those smoky oakies.
Yep, so I got all of that.
Okay,
smoky oakies. I want to try the Pinot too with it. I want to see where it is.
It's not my favorite, but you still get all of that like juicy cherry. I mean, it's
okay. So this one I get more fruit.
That's what I'm saying. It brings out the mid palate of it. It doesn't make me super happy, but it doesn't offend me like the Cabernet.
Doesn't offend you. It did pull out that cranberry tartness out of that Pinot and made it more of that cherry, dark fruit kind of on that.
Yep.
Don't love it, but I understand what a little bit of acid will do with Pinot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe another good thing we put on this plate, maybe some tomatoes. We do we eat a lot of tomatoes.
Tomatoes are definitely.
So put some tomatoes in here, and I'm not just fresh tomatoes. Just slice them up. You don't need to salt them. You could salt them if you wanted to, but that'd be good with a lot of wine. So we have a lot of tomatoes.
Well, if you're like me and you're a Missouri girl and you grew up with your dad growing hundreds of tomato plants a year, you take those beefsteaks, you slice them, you put it on 2 pieces of whole wheat toast with a little bit of barbecue sauce, and eat it fresh. Sauce. It is the sandwich of the day. Wow. I know that sounds really crazy, but that's my Missouri favorite sandwich, and I'm not a sandwich fan. Yep, try it.
All right, I want you to try the Tempranillo.
Okay. With the lemon or with something else?
Try the lemon. I want you to see how it kind of it made the fruit drop, it made the oak come out. Because this wine, this wine sees a lot of oak, about almost 2.5 years of oak.
Yeah,
which is a lot.
Oh, holy cow! It's like licking a cigarette ashtray.
Yeah. So it is
in a bad way. There's still a lot of fruit on it, but I will say the fruit takes a second stage to all of that smoky oakiness.
Okay, now let's
and that might be better.
One thing I forgot to mention, these are just fresh walnuts. Okay, actually these are just a cool story. This came from Janet Trefethen. Oh. From Trefethen Vineyards. Yeah. She has walnut trees on her property.
Love that.
And the sweetest woman in the world. And she obviously loves our city of Fort Worth. She's here a lot.
She's here a lot.
And so she's in the horse business. She's in the horse business. She sends us fresh walnuts from Trefethen Vineyards. So that's what these are. So we're having a treat. We're having Trefethen walnuts.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So one I like to eat by myself because I'm talking a mouthful here. Mm. Mm. You get what tannins are, right? So people are like, I don't understand what tannins are. And I know we're not on tannins today, but we're getting ready to talk about some tannic wine, drink some tannic wine. And so you see that, now it's going to hurt me to talk because that walnut is drying my mouth out. That's what tannins are.
Exactly.
My mouth's becoming like a cat tongue, it has a little scratchiness. Sandpaper. Yep. Yeah. So it's just kind of getting that little grit on there. Yep. And so now I'm going to take another bite. So you got something tannic.
Where do you want me to go? With the cab?
Go cab.
Let's go cab.
I'm gonna go opposite. I'm gonna go Pinot.
Mm-hmm. But I will say the interesting thing about these particular walnuts versus a lot of other walnuts, these actually have a hint of sweetness to them.
Oh, probably really good walnuts.
They're damn good.
They're really good walnuts.
Mm. This cab tastes like a completely different wine than it did with the lemon. You do get all of that cassis, you get all of those berries, but the tannin it's present, but it's not so grippy and it's not like just destroying my palate.
Let's switch. That's a Pinot Noir.
Pinot, okay. And remind me, this is the California Pinot.
California Pinot.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, yeah. Okay.
Interesting. This actually brings the tannin out just a little bit more.
Yep.
And it, because I wouldn't, like with some of the other things on our plate, like especially the chocolate, I wouldn't be getting that tannin. But the walnuts kind of match it.
Well, it did the same thing on Tempranillo too.
Did it?
When you said that, I was like, it's probably going to do the same thing. And it did. So you're going to try a little bit. Here's a really special walnut there.
These walnuts.
Mm-hmm.
Walnuts are delicious.
I actually me personally, I actually like it best with Tempranillo. I think this Cabernet in this example might be a little bit too much fruit for me by itself.
This is perfect.
That one's great.
This is perfect
because this has a little bit less fruit, more tannins, and this is more. I'm talking without the food, before we cutting into it.
No, the tannin levels in these are spot on.
They're together, right?
Sorry, I'm not sharing my.
I think this one has had less already in the glass before, less tannin, more fruit, and so. But obviously, there's wines, even in California, can be different levels of acidity and tannins.
So tannin in general, it can be, and be careful because we always say there's only tannins in red wines. If a white wine has spent some time on the skins or stems or pits, it can get a little bit of a tannin. Rosé However, especially rosé that's in the Sanya method, where fermentation is actually started before you're bleeding off the skins to get the rosé, can have tannin.
Yep.
So tannin can be present in white and rosé, even when we say there's no tannins in it. So just be careful.
In the balance of tannins, that's the hard thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So balance of tannins for winemakers, that's what they try to do to make sure it's not too aggressive. I'm talking about wines that we're supposed to consume the first couple of years.
Exactly. Yeah, these are drink me nows.
Not wines you lay down for 5 to 10 years or even longer than that. Weird wines you're going to go to the store. I want to drink this in a year or two. Those kind of tannic wines.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
So
where are we going next?
I'm going to show you just in this example only because of how the acidity plays well with tannins also. So how acidity in the wine breaks down the tannins and how the tannin of the wine also work together with the tannins. Okay. All right. What do you want? You want to do salt next?
Salt.
Okay. Do salt.
Okay. Which wine am I doing first?
Let's do your Pinot.
Pinot and salt. Okay.
Okay. So you have a high acid. I have a medium acid.
Well, it gave a really interesting, like it took the fruit to a very strange place for me.
Where? Mine too. I'm trying to figure mine out.
I know. Mine, it's kind of like you have a cherry compote that somebody added too much salt to, because it's not cutting through the salt at all. For me, the Pinot isn't.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
Maybe I just put too much salt in my mouth.
And good
point. The second time, you might have put too much.
Again, we're doing extreme examples, right? Yeah. It's okay to do extreme examples because you're not going to be throwing a ton of salt in a dish, but you're saying add more. Or if I'm making a dish, how much salt do I add? Or if I'm going to be eating something that is salty naturally.
Yeah, the Tempranillo held its own against it.
I agree, and the Pinot went just flappy for me.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it tasted like somebody oversalted a dish.
It just went just like a cheap Pinot.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is not a cheap Pinot.
No, it's not any. I know it's not.
But it tastes like a cheap Pinot. It's just like, I think it's Pinot, but it doesn't have any characteristic of a good Pinot. There's no texture anymore on it.
No.
The fruit is just kind of all over the place. It just made this wine just kind of the waves hit each other and didn't blend together.
No, it was more like a wipeout on Hawaii.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do the.
I want to do the cab too.
I'm just gonna get one tiny little. I think I'm just over.
Yeah, I'm
over salty.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna have high blood sugar today, or high blood pressure. Okay. That held it up, but I will say that it changed the fruit notes to more sour. Made them sour to me.
Made the wine very tannic for me.
Yeah. I didn't notice the tannin so much because I think the sour fruit was, it was almost like you had pickled cherries.
And again,
cranberries.
I made this wine, again, just not really present. Like the wine is just like, I'm there, but I'm not a focus anymore.
Which is so interesting because we think about the traditional steak and cab pairing. Well, if you really want to enhance like a good Wagyu filet, you're just going to put a little salt and pepper on it. You're not going to over season it.
That's right.
And so if it is over seasoned, it could really contradict your
great example.
Right?
Because people tell me, yeah, that's such a good example. Obviously, I get the question like, I'm cooking a steak tonight. I'm assuming I'm a cab. I'm like, well, okay, that's a very safe assumption. But are you just grilling it? Is that what you're doing? Are you going to put maybe a blue cheese on top of it? Are you doing a béarnaise sauce? Like all those kind of things. I mean, are you broiling it? Are you sous videing it? So like that's, when we talk about our red meats in Texas, you can't have a one sentence answer. You have to explain. Okay, how are you ordering it, or how are you making it?
Seasonings, preparation,
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I love that.
And that'll help you. Okay,
exactly. Now where are we going?
Here's what people all the time. Oh, people always tell me chocolate and Cabernet. Well, I'm going to prove you chocolate and Cabernet is.
Yeah, I can think of a lot better wines with.
Yes, yeah.
With chocolate than
some cabs might happen to hit the nail on the head with it, but overall they just miss it. So let's go cab.
Okay,
you go cab.
You want Tempranillo?
I'll do Tim because that's medium. Yeah.
That was like a grippy.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that was just like licking sandpaper.
And then usually it'll turn it metallic tasting and make it really acidic.
Yeah.
It drops all the other stuff off of it.
Probably because I still have so much chocolate in my teeth.
Yeah. You get no fruit, all acid.
I'm not liking the Tempranillo either. It makes it super, super acidic, super, like, bitter. And then the tannins are just, not liking that either.
So again, let's go back to, we're not talking about desserts right now with red wines. We're talking about savory dishes that may have a sweet sauce. So let's take like back to our Asian food example. There's a lot of Asian dishes that have sugar added to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
So they're going to have sweetness too. So you definitely don't want a Cabernet or Tempranillo with them. Right. You need something that a red wine will combat. So maybe a Pinot, but I would go more towards higher acid and a lot of fruit for me.
Yes.
Go back. I mean, Beaujolais that's kind of an extreme example, but I love that kind of style. But I would go a sweeter red, like a Zin or a Grenache or Mourvedre.
I was just thinking Grenache, especially, but a low alcohol Grenache.
Yep.
Because if you put high alcohol with spicy heat, you are setting a fire in your mouth.
And when we're saying sweeter reds, we're talking about when you have a Grenache by itself, it's not
fruit
sweet,
forward.
it's fruit sweet.
Forward.
Yep, it has that really good blueberry sweetness to it, or maybe even a little bit of fig sometimes onto these guys. So that's what you're going for, that kind of sweetness on the reds. So, but you're right. Next session we're talking about sugar and wine, but this one, we do have sweet sauces, especially in Texas cuisine or in Asian cuisine, and it's okay. They can uphold some reds, but you might need to get outside your box of the Cabernet kind of situation or the Pinot Noir kind of situation.
Agree. Yeah, because I mean, there's multiple layers, whether it's the spice, whether it's the saltiness, even, and whether or not it's the tannins, and plus the hidden sweetness. That none of those really go super well. Well, while we're talking about sugar, I see this beautiful glass of dessert wine over there. Should we just pull that boat?
Are we teasing our next episode?
We are teasing our next episode. I love it. Let's tease that next episode, and let's just make this an all-in-one tasting video.
Well, this is our house wine. This is 1988 Chateau Garou. This is not our house wine. I'm kidding. But it is 1988 Garou.
Yeah.
So
this is the house wine you want to be here every.
But we do actually have this wine by the glass right now.
Are you really?
I really do. I actually, that is not a joke. I was about my house wine. But
yeah,
it really, we're pouring this by the glass right now at Ellerby. It's I love Sauternes and I love sweet wines.
Okay,
love them.
So this is exactly why the only person I was going to have as my guest on the episode about sweet wines was Richard, because we share that love and passion for a good sweet wine. Yep. So. A lot of people are.
And tune in because I'm going to bring some fun wines for us to try with the pairing on the sweet stuff. So
yes. Okay.
Ports, Madeiras, Sauternes, all
I love
that kind of stuff.
I love it. We've got to talk about them all.
All right. So this one, we'll go through how this wine is made next podcast. Okay. Why it's sweet. But this wine is high sugar.
It is.
Not added, just how it's made. Okay. So I'll let you go for a sip, and you might want to show them the color too.
Look at this.
Nice and dark, and that's natural.
Look at that amber.
Made in the age.
It's beautiful. Can I just?
I know it's great.
I know. What makes this beautiful is not just the fact that it's so complex, and we will talk about how it's made, because it could almost gross some people out on how it's made, but it's so cool.
Yep.
But the fact is that one of the primary grapes in this is Sauvignon Blanc, which has that high acidity. So this wine, even though it's sweet, has this beautiful underlying acidity that makes that sugar, sugar and acidity just kind of like elevate each other. So it's not a dull, sweet, sticky wine.
Yep.
It is a bright, sweet, fun. It talk about kid in a candy store. That's what this wine is.
Well, and this is
happy.
People always ask me like, "Oh, this wine's balanced." Like, what does the wine mean to me? It's balanced. Well, this is an extreme example of a balanced wine, because you mentioned the Sauv Blanc, really high acid, but has a lot of natural sugar in how it's made.
Yep.
and so it's balanced. The sweet and the acid are balanced out in the wine, only purely how they made it.
Yeah,
and that's how it's balanced wine.
Because otherwise,
not
with
too sweet,
much,
not too acidic.
Yeah, too much sugar and no acidity, and you really are getting like simple syrup.
So this one example, let's just do the chocolate only.
Okay.
On this
I
side.
got some.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, so we'll go more into this in the next session, but sweet and sweet. It's a marriage.
Okay, this takes me to an Austrian Sachertorte with like an apricot compote. If you haven't been to Austria
we should.
And gotten a Sachertorte.
Yeah, a lot of apricot.
A lot of apricot. That's why I'm like,
Yeah. But the I don't taste a ton of chocolate.
No, I still have chocolate in my teeth.
But the sweetness of the chocolate is that's where that's the
happy marriage.
Yeah, it's a good marriage of sweet with sweet. So
yeah,
again, we'll get more into this, but just the news to the segue into the next session is that this wine is the same level of sweetness as what the other component is with it. It's not too sweet, and vice versa. So it's a good blend.
They're making each other happy.
They are.
Awesome. Well, this has been super fun. We've learned wines that you can actually have a lemon, pure lemon, and the wines will uphold that. And the neutralization of the acid and acid. We've talked about tannins and what that does, and salt and what that does. So really go make your own pairing tray and think about what it is that you enjoyed. Think about what it is you didn't enjoy, and make sure to note that, because that's really what makes beautiful food and wine pairings. And what we taste is going to be different than what you taste. So don't take exactly what we've said as the word when it comes to pairings, because everybody has different sensitivities to bitterness, acidity, sugar, etc. So find your own swim lane in it and play around with it, because you're going to find the perfect food and wine pairings when you do these sorts of things.
And you might say, I just don't really love white wines. I get that a lot too. Well, what that means, you haven't had a white wine that you love. You haven't found one you love yet, and you will find.
Or you've been pairing it with the wrong things.
True too.
All right, perfect. Well, cheers. This has been so much fun.
It's been great.